Prevention is nearly always better than cure, and this is particularly true for children who are learning to read and write. If children struggle, especially when whole word memorizing or mixed methods of teaching are used, they start to think that learning to read is too difficult for them and that they're not bright enough. And this develops into negative feelings and can lead to a great deal of resentment and unhappiness. And then some of the more bravado struggling children pretend that they do not want to learn to read and stop being cooperative at school and at home. So how can reading and writing problems be prevented? In my mind, the best solution is to deal with the difficulties before they become serious problems. The first thing to make sure is that a synthetic phonics method of teaching is the mainstream school approach, and that decodable readers are used to reinforce the skill of blending until reading becomes fluent and the blending of unknown words is automatic. It is counterproductive if synthetic phonics is taught in an intervention group and mixed methods in the main classroom, or vice versa. Now, fortunately, when teaching with synthetic phonics, it is easy to identify the children who are at risk. We know that poor memory and weak auditory skills are the main causes of reading and writing problems. So, after teaching one letter sound a day for 2 weeks, the memory problem is easy to spot. These children know far fewer letter sounds than the rest of the class, and some hardly know any at all. And ideally, this is when extra support should start. Generally speaking, in a class of 30 children, there are usually 6 children at risk. And in poor social areas, there will be slightly more children at risk, and in the affluent areas, there will be slightly fewer. At this early stage, it is the learning of the letter sounds that needs some extra practice. For example, while the rest of the class is busy on an activity, the teacher could take the slow-to-start group of children who are potentially at risk of developing problems and concentrate on revising the letter sounds that have not been mastered. It need not be a long session, but if there is time, some letter sounds could be dictated, reminding the children of the formation. A little extra teaching most days is extremely effective, and progress should go at the speed that the majority can cope with. Provide each of the slow-to-start children with their own letter sound box, and then identify the letter sounds that are known by each child and place them in his or her own box, and ask the parents to go through the box every day. And the word on the back is a guide for the parents who are not sure of the letter sounds. These words can be downloaded at the end of this section and in the resources section. Now, poor memory children need plenty of reinforcement before each letter sound is securely in their long-term memory. And as fast as possible, and when appropriate, add more letter sounds to their letter sound boxes as they are learnt. These children should not miss any of the whole class teaching. The aim is to catch up and keep up with the rest of the class. Now, during the day, it helps if each child goes through the letter sounds in his or her own box, either with a teacher, a teaching assistant, a parent helper, or a buddy. The buddy could be a friend in the class who knows the letter sounds well. At the end of 4 weeks, review the progress of the group. Some of the children, with the extra attention, may now be learning the letter sounds quite well. If they have also clicked into blending and segmenting, then they will hardly need any extra support. Also, by now the teacher will know if there are any children who may have a good memory but have a poor auditory ability. These children find it difficult to hear the word after blending the letter sounds, and usually struggle to hear the sounds in words.